How to prepare your own big game carcass, Chapter 1. Basically, all four-legged animals with the hide off look the same: deer, elk, beef, sheep, goat, bear, etc. The difference is the size and the amount of meat to the portion you are cutting up. Example, small deer and elk. A small deer hindquarter will weigh about 20 pounds to 25 pounds, where an elk hindquarter will weigh about 60 pounds to 80 pounds, with the conformation the same. So this means different ways to utilize the same cuts. We will explain further as we get into the process. Field dressing. Congratulations, you got yourself an animal. Now what to do with it? Proper bleeding. This is very important. If you want to save the head for a trophy, slit the throat lengthwise, leave plenty of cape. This will not show when the head is mounted, as will the one cut across the neck. Make sure you cut deep to get to the jugular vein. If the blood does not flow freely, wiggle the knife around until it does. Your knife will stop when you feel bone. This is good. Next, lay the animal with the head pointing downhill. This will ensure proper blood drainage. Removing the scent glands is important if you do not plan on skinning the animal immediately. Deer are bad for this. You can readily find this gland. It is located on the shank. The hair is raised slightly, but if not sure where it is located, you can find it by rubbing with your hand until you locate it by the smell. It has a strong musty odor caused by the animal urinating on its leg to attract the opposite sex. Skinning. The first step is to remove the legs at the knee joint. This may be done by using a saw or running a knife through the joint and breaking it off. Second step is to make a slit up the inside of the legs. Then peel the skin back from the belly about 1/3 of the way down to the side. Then peel the skin from the hindquarters. Hoist the carcass in the air and pull the skin from the body. If you have done these previous steps, it should readily pull from the body with very little effort. Removing the intestines, step 1. Removing the intestines isn't as hard as it looks. There are just a few simple rules to follow. Step 1, first roll the animal on its side, then place small saplings or sticks along each side. This will hold the carcass in place. Then right below the stomach cavity or just above the pelvic bone, just barely break the skin, being very careful not to puncture the intestines. Step 2, the next step is to stick your knife into the puncture handle first with the edge of the blade pointing toward the head. Then slide the blade toward the rib cage. As you reach the brisket, your knife will stop, continue, or break through this cartilage. With an older animal, sometimes a saw is required. Do not stop until you reach the neck. At this time, you may slit the neck and remove the windpipe or esophagus. Step 3. The next step depends on the sex of the carcass. If it is a male, cut under the penis, pulling the cord until you reach the scrotum. Then cut loose and remove. If it's a female, just cut milk bag loose. Step 4. Next step is to separate the intestines from the carcass. Roll the carcass on its side, downhill if possible. Slide your hand along the rib cage until you find where the intestines are connected to the inside wall of the ribs. Then take your knife and cut loose, being careful not to puncture the intestines. Step 5. Next step is the most difficult. This is removing the urine bladder, which lies directly under the pelvic bone. Step 6. Now insert the knife blade into the skin beside the anus between the hindquarters and cut a circular pattern. Next, disengage from the rest of the animal. Reach inside on the body cavity side and gently pull through the pelvic canal into the body cavity, being careful you do not puncture anal canal. If it does not come loose, you may have to reinsert knife and cut some of the skin you may have missed. Step 7. Now gently roll the intestines and anal out of the body cavity. Now cut loose the lungs and pancreas. This is easily done. You can tell the lungs and pancreas by their color. Lungs are pink color and the pancreas is purple color. Do not mistake the pancreas for the liver. This is sometimes done. The pancreas is connected to the rib wall. Step 9, remove the heart and liver. Place in a plastic bag for easy packing. This also keeps them clean. When you get to camp or home, place the heart and liver in cold water. This removes the blood. Sometimes people add a little salt. Wastage due to bloodshot. A good part of waste could be prevented by removing this area from the meat before the blood sets up or clots. Bloodshot is caused from the blood escaping from the veins due to the wound and seeping into the tissues and muscles. If a hunter would remove damaged flesh and broken bones before the blood coagulates, it will prevent this from spreading to the undamaged area.